Right now, in the Sunday Morning Futures exclusive, is the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. Governor, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Maria.
Have you seen a change? Tell us what has happened since President Trump was sworn in as our 47th president.
Maria, I don't think there's ever been a more sudden and swift change in any government operation than under President Trump when he took the oath of office. I would say overnight, but on the first hour of his tenure as president, we saw the change where there were military sent to the border. The military were blocking people from crossing the border illegally. The numbers of people who crossed on the 19th of January dropped dramatically on the 20th of January. They have continued to drop, and every single day, President Trump, working with Tom Homan, they've been deporting people to the countries they came from. But to show how Texas is a partner in all this process, on the hour that President Trump took office, Texas was deploying more buoys in the Rio Grande to deter and deny illegal entry into the country. The change, Maria, is this. We suddenly now have a commander-in-chief who cares about national security, who cares about securing the border, who's going to enforce the law. And importantly, he has a governor in a state in Texas that will be a partner with the Trump administration. We will assist in the arrest, the detention, and the deportation of people coming across the border illegally.
And deportations are now well underway. Some have been put on planes. Are they going back to Mexico? Where are you sending them? Give us a sense of the practical process that is happening right now.
So hundreds up to close to 1,000 are being sent back across the border on a daily basis under the Trump administration. Some are going to Mexico. Others, you will see flights that are going to Guatemala and some other Central American countries. And the Trump administration is going to be sending them back to their home countries and demanding compliance by these countries that they take back the people who have crossed the border illegally. And know this, and that is right now, I would say there's two categories of people that the Trump administration is sending back. One, they're trying to go after those who are public safety threats, who are criminals, as well as national security threats. Remember, under Joe Biden, they allowed into the United States people who were on the terrorist watch list. And the Trump administration is seeking out and trying to find them and deport them. And then the other that they're sending back is that, listen, those people who think they can cross the border and stay here in the country illegally now, those days are gone. And so if anybody apprehended coming across the border is going to be sent back immediately.
Isn't it unbelievable? Texas is now a partner to the federal government as opposed to being an enemy, which certainly is what it looked like under the Biden team. But let me get your take on this 300,000 children that were lost under the Biden-Harris administration. Fox News reported this week, Harris Faulkner reported that the Trump team has now located some of those children.
So listen, it's almost criminal what Joe Biden did, allowing all these children to come in and then losing them, putting those children at risk. Who knows how many of those children were child sex trafficked or harmed in some other way. And you got to hand it to the Trump administration for quickly locating them, identifying them, and work to ensure that their safety. And here again, it's a night and day difference between the Trump administration and the Biden administration. We now have a commander-in-chief in office who's going to ensure the safety of people in the country, whether it be these young kids who were trafficked into our country, or everyday Americans and communities that are having to deal with the consequences of Joe Biden's open border policies.
What about those Venezuelan gangs, Tren de Aragua, that was causing such havoc? Do you believe, Governor, that we will see a change in crime? The attacks that we're seeing across the country in places like big cities like New York, do you believe in the coming months that will move the needle as a result of what you all are doing in Texas?
So it's actually already begun. So what we did in Texas, I signed a law and then implemented the law declaring Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization. And for the past year, Texas has been working with federal, state, and local authorities to arrest and jail Tren de Aragua members here in the state of Texas. What Trump will do is apply that same strategy. He's already either done it or said he's going to do it, declare Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization under the federal law, which is even more powerful. And what Trump wants to do is to go after organizations like that, which is the largest, most deadly and consequential foreign terrorist organization and make sure that we put them out of business. And the way we put them out of business is to put them behind bars.
Well, we're all feeling a lot better about what's to come after this. Thank you so much, Governor. Good to see you, sir.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm putting together tonight is something that's gonna piss some people off, but at the same time, it's going to be a breath of fresh air and definitely eye-opening to many people of what's been going on with this whole illegal migrant situation here in America, and the fact of how the Democrats seem to favor the separation of migrant families over Americans. Okay. Now, I'm asking everybody to bear with me till I get to my point in the video. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I just want to say this. I'm not putting this video together to piss anybody off, to hate anyone. I'm putting this video out, okay, to spread awareness so people can see, especially you leftists out there that are all boohoo, whining, and crying right now, that Donald Trump has passed executive orders in order to start kicking out illegal migrant criminals and illegal migrants that have come into this country, okay, that think that they can just anchor themselves into society without paying the penalty, okay? You know, it blows my mind the way so many people can go after Trump. They can call him racist. They can call him xenophobe. You have so many content creators out there right now on all platforms, especially on YouTube, basically trying to rub it in Trump supporters' faces that now illegal migrant families are being separated. There's people out there putting out video from Hollywood elites, okay, like what's her name, Selena Gomez or something like that. Her name is. She's out there putting out a video, crying about all this that's going on. You have politicians out there talking about it. You have content creators talking about it. Everybody is crying, saying that what's going on is inhumane, that Trump's a tyrant, he's a monster, he doesn't care about Latino people, he doesn't care about Americans, you know, all the regular fodder that they can stick in their cannon of hate and just blast it out into the airwaves just to eat up people's heads and feed on people's, you know, feelings. Okay? What people don't seem to understand is that when Obama was president, Obama separated plenty of families. Okay? When Trump became president, he came out and started deporting people that were coming into the country illegally. Everybody said that was a problem. Nobody said anything about Obama, but everything was a problem with Trump. Biden comes into office, and there are hundreds of thousands of migrant children missing, tens of thousands of criminals, I mean hardcore criminals, coming into this country, millions upon millions of people from all over the world coming into the country illegally, and yet the leftists don't seem to have a problem with that, even though a lot of these illegal migrant criminals have already caused heartache in this country with the rapes and the murders and, you know, what have you. But to them, that doesn't matter. And that is because all these people that, like I said before, that are for this, they are part of the problem. They are the ones that are trying to destroy this country from within. These are some people, many people born and raised in this country that hate this country so much, okay? But they refuse to leave. They rather destroy it and try to rebuild it into their own leftist utopia, where if you look at it, it's just something that's built on Marxism, communism, socialism, straight up hate for the nuclear family, straight up hate for America, okay? In many instances, straight up hate towards God and his beliefs, even though they use, or they try to use, God's word to say that it's inhumane of what's going on. That's not what God would want. That's not what God would do. Anything to that effect. And they'll throw in, phrases like, where's your humanity? Where's the humanity on all this? But yet, where's the humanity in all the women and children that have been raped and or murdered by illegal migrant criminals? Where was the humanity in that? Why can't you jump on board and say, you know what? We'll meet you halfway. How about we all get together, get rid of all the gang members, all the criminals, and then maybe come back to the drawing board and figure something out, even though in my opinion, that's not the idea to kick them out is the best idea. I'm not saying to just kick out the criminals and keep the rest. No, I mean, you know what? If they really want to come here, then they should all go back, get online, and do the right thing. Definitely kick out the criminals first. Make sure the countries that they came from, take them back, put them in prison, whatever the case is. Whatever they got to do with their criminals, let them do it. Okay, because Colombia now tried to threaten Trump, saying that they were not going to take back their criminals, and Trump came out and said, okay, well, this is going to be the deal. We're going to put a 25% tariff on all your goods. After 7 days, it's going to go up to 50%. And right away, the president of Colombia changed his tune and even went as far as offering his presidential plane, okay, to be used to bring back the Colombian criminals and ship them back to Colombia. You see, you got to do things by force without lifting a finger. Because if we don't, people, it's going to get worse in America with all these people coming in here, regrouping, and just bringing their chaos and spreading bloodshed in our country. And I've always said it. It's bad enough we have our own American homegrown criminals. We don't need to import them. But in the eyes of the left, it's inhumane what's going on. Now, there's going to be a couple of things that I'm going to point out in this video. The first thing I'm going to point out from the first video I just played was that how ironic is it that when I believe it was Alejandro Mayorkas was in front of Congress talking about the 1 to 2 million gotaways, okay, that they didn't know where they were at because once they were released, they disappeared into the communities. But yet Trump's been president for what, a week now, going on 2 weeks? And already Tom Homan, the one that he put in charge of the border czar, has been tracking down the illegal migrant criminals, locking them up, and just shipping them back. On top of all that, people have been begging and pleading and demanding the Biden administration to find out information on where are all the hundreds of thousands of missing migrant children. And now all of a sudden, they've already found about 75,000 of them. Now I know some of you leftists are going to say, oh, you know what, that's all bull. Well, we're watching all the videos. It's all over the news. Okay. Even to the Democrats' demise, because the news footage they're trying to show of Tom Homan and ICE and state officials rounding up these criminals is that they're trying to use it to try to tell people that look at the racism that's going on. But what they're actually showing is that Mayorkas and the Biden administration have always known where these people are at. And as a favor to the left, to the right, they're able to use that information and say, well, here you go, media. Here you go, America. We're finding them. We're locking them up. We're sending them back. So it's like I've always said that the Democrats, they contradict themselves and they eat themselves. Here is another contradiction by the left. They couldn't find these people, and how ironic that as soon as Trump gets in, he gets the intel, Tom Homan gets the intel, they're rounding these people up by the hundreds every single day, locking them up, they're filling up these military planes, and they're shipping their asses out. But even with that, the Democrats still want to say that what Donald Trump is doing is wrong. Now, this video goes out to all you leftists out there. Doesn't matter what race you are. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're Latino, if you're black, if you're white. It doesn't matter. What I want to do is show you something. So I'm asking everybody, bear with me, stay with me, because you'll see how I put all this together, and you're going to see the main point of this whole video of how I say that the Democrats care more about illegal migrants than they do Americans. They talk so much, okay, about the Latino community and the black community. They talk the good game to get the votes, the American votes. And then when they're in power, they kick you to the side. You're an enemy to them. They don't care, especially if you're not on their side. We're going to get to that. But I want to show some clips. And if anybody doesn't know who this man is, I'm sure everybody does. Okay? This is the #1 race baiter of all time. Started out back in the early 80s. Al Sharpton. Reverend Al Sharpton. How he got that title is beyond me. But that's neither here nor there. Okay? I'll digress on that. But let's listen to what he has to say about illegal migrants. And then I'm going to show you some other clips of, a couple of other things that are said about these illegal migrants. Here we go.
We are saying that there should be proper immigration, but there is nothing proper about taking children from their parents. There's nothing moral or even acceptable of hearing children crying and screaming for their daddies and their mommies in the land that calls itself the land of the free and the home of the brave. There's also the civil rights element. I do not believe that President Trump would implement this at the Canadian border and do this to white children.
Okay, I'm going to stop real quick. I know it's quick, people. But he already started with the race baiting. You heard what he said. Civil rights. It's against civil rights. It's immoral. Okay? You see all the trigger words that he's using? About separating families. This man talks so much about separating families. Tom Homan has said it time and time again. Where are the Democrats when some guy goes and breaks the law, or some woman goes and breaks the law? It could be, because they're criminals, granted, or maybe they fell on hard times and they went and committed a crime just to try to provide for the family. The Democrats don't have a problem separating them. But now you have people coming here illegally, breaking the law, and they care about that. They care about those families being separated. I want everybody to keep everything he's saying in mind. Let's continue.
There is the inference here that because these are children of color, that there's a different policy for them, and that he is playing hardball with the futures of these young people.
Okay, remember that phrase right there. These are children of color, and he's playing hardball, okay, with the futures of children. Keep that one piece in mind. We're going to get to why I put this whole video together just from that one piece right there.
But also with the image of the United States worldwide. This bigoted and insensitive policy should end today.
Majority of these families are fleeing life-threatening domestic abuse, gang violence, oppressive governments in their home country, and the administration's policies are inflicting additional trauma to innocent children's lives. So, Mr. President, we ask you, stop tearing apart families and holding these kids hostage to build your medieval wall. And to Homeland Security Secretary Nielsen, do the right thing or resign.
And let's be clear about who is causing this devastation. It is President Trump. He made this decision, and he can end it today.
Okay, so there you go. You heard what these people have to say. Now, here's the thing. This was put out 6 years ago. Now, The past 4 years, as we all know, millions of illegal migrants have crossed the border illegally. Tens of thousands of them are hardcore criminals that have caused chaos, have murdered, have raped, have done all kinds of stuff in America. Hundreds of thousands of migrant children are missing. And I know that some people may say, well, why are you putting this out? Because nothing's changed. And I'm going to show you a little more context to this video, why Al Sharpton and these people got out there, why they were talking about this, about Trump separating families. Because I found another clip, and I'm like, wow. They can complain about Trump, and there was a reason why they're complaining. I get it. They want to say, oh, he's separating families, this, and that, yada, yada, yada. But then there's other stuff that they won't talk about, that I'm going to talk about and I'm going to point out. Okay? And this, again, this is what I don't understand about the Democrats, and not so much the Democrat politicians, because we all know that many of them, if not all, are corrupt, and they just have a warped, corrupt mindset. I can't understand how the people keep voting for these Democrats with all these facts, saying that they care so much about all these people that have come here illegally, but they don't know all the facts. They don't care about the Americans that suffered. They don't care about the women and the men and women that have lost their children to the crimes committed by illegal migrants. They don't care about none of that. They just don't. They'd rather stick to their leftist agenda. The Democrats, liberals, you name it, they'd rather stick to that no matter what, because Donald Trump is, is evil, like they say. We're a cult. We're the ones trying to bring families together. We're the ones trying to find out who are the actual parents to all these children. We're trying to find out where are the missing children, but we're the ones that are considered a cult. You won't get on board and help us find those children, but you're calling us a cult. Yeah, right. Let's get to the next video clip. Here we go.
We wanted to show solidarity with the families that have been affected by this order by the president. He turned it around yesterday, but he said nothing about how we're going to reconcile the over 2,000 families that had already been affected, 2,000 children that have already been separated, many of them of tender age. They can't identify who their mother is. They can't identify themselves. So we're saying the damage done must be dealt with, as well as there needs to be legislation by the Congress. There are 2 immigration bills that are being voted on today. They must, in one of those bills, if they pass, take this power away from the whims of a president ever putting us on this catastrophic course again. So I wanted to come and stand with Sister Norma and others that deal with this every day to show solidarity. So we in the civil rights community have an ongoing commitment that we're going to stand with this as a civil rights issue. What the president has done is immoral, and turning it around and leaving the damage done is not a solution.
You think it's too little too late?
It's too little too late. It's half-baked, half-cocked, and arrogant, because this is a policy he instituted. He did not inherit a policy of family separation. Now he says, all right, let's move on. That's like me hitting you with my car, damaging you, and then pulling off saying, I won't do it again. What about the damage that you have incurred already? What are we going to do about that? The children...
Okay, I want you to keep that in mind. Everything he said. He talked about the damage that's been incurred. Everything. You heard it. You heard everything. I really don't have to repeat what this man has said. This man has been the biggest race baiter. I mean, if anybody knows the Tawana Brawley case, everything that happened in New York, I mean, this man has been nothing but a grifting hustler. Okay? For decades now. But I'm going to digress on that. Let's get to the next video clip. Keep everything he said in mind. Here we go.
The ACLU is speaking out after announcing the group can't locate the parents of more than 500 children who were separated at the border. The lead attorney told ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner a San Diego federal court judge is reviewing the numbers.
Children
This Friday, attorney Lee Gellert, deputy director of ACLU's National Immigrants' Rights Project, spoke to ABC 10 News about how his staff members have not found the parents of 545 children nationwide who were separated by the Trump administration.
We have found hundreds of others, but there remains hundreds who we have not found.
Earlier this week, the ACLU revealed the numbers to San Diego Federal Court Judge Dana Sabra in a new filing for a case stemming from a lawsuit brought by the ACLU, challenging the president's practice of asylum-seeking family separations, which were put into place after he took office.
We then had to go door to door on the ground in Central America looking for these parents. It's a painstaking, dangerous process. We were making some progress, but ultimately the pandemic hit and that slowed things down.
Okay, I'm going to stop it for a second, people. Now we're going to start digging into some facts over here, okay? You heard what they said, that they're looking for 545 or something to that effect, the parents of these children. That because of the Trump policies, they were separated from their parents. This man just came out and said, I'll play it again so you guys can hear it. Okay?
Looking for these parents. It's a painstaking, dangerous process. We were making some progress.
Sorry, go back just a little bit, sorry.
Place after he took office.
We then had to go door to door on the ground in Central America looking for.
Now we have to go to door in Central America to find the parents of these children. Who are these people? Who do these people think that they are lying to? First of all, I don't care if you're an American. I don't care if you're an illegal migrant. Okay? Someone takes your child away, you don't go very far until you get your child back. At least that's what I think a parent would do. Or is it because, like Trump was saying from the get, and it showed even more during the Biden administration, that a lot of these people, a lot of these adults that came over with children, those children weren't theirs. So that's why when Trump separated the families, the supposed adults, their parents, were hard to find. Because they basically used the kids to get over into the United States. And since those kids were probably not theirs, they said, you know what? They're letting me go. They're telling me to come back and pick up my child. Screw that. I'm out. It's not my child. Think about that, people. Because that's all we heard during the Biden administration. As a matter of fact, Kat Kamek from Florida went out to the border and proved that. On one particular case, one little girl that was about 3 or 4 years old, that she noticed men coming in. First she noticed it with one guy holding a little girl. And then when she went back, I believe she said the next day or the day after that, I did a video on this last year sometime, that she noticed another man coming across the border, and she noticed the same little girl. And she pointed it out, and they come to find out that the little girl was used about 4 or 5 times with 4 or 5 different men. So wherever that little girl was being taken, she was being smuggled back over the border, back into Mexico, and another guy came up, paid off the cartels or whoever, who knows. Okay, maybe they were all family members, who knows. Gave them the little girl. They used the little girl as an excuse, as it was their child, to come back over the border. But the mainstream media won't say nothing about that. Again, the mainstream media won't talk about the hundreds of thousands of missing migrant children. How convenient that now that Trump is president, now they're finding them. Now they're finding the supposed gotaways. They never got away. They let them go. They knew what they were doing. They were bringing people in here. They were letting them in, and they were just letting them go. They know where most of these kids are at. And I have to say most because they're not going to say where all of them are, and I don't even want to utter the words, but we all know what I'm talking about. Trump said it before. We're not going to find them all. A lot of them are not with us. Sadly. Heartbreakingly. But did that happen under Trump when Trump was president? No. Trump was trying to stop it. Trump was trying to make sure that the children that were coming over with the parents, that they were doing DNA swab tests to find out if their genes were the same, to make sure they were the same bloodline, and then say, okay, you know what, we're getting closer to the fact that yes, that is your child. Biden did away with that. That's why so many kids are missing. That's why when they come out and say that Trump is trying to separate families now, this is not Trump's fault. This is Biden's fault. This is the Democrats' fault. This is the fault of all the NGOs, of all the liberals, all the leftists, all the religious organizations, all you people that want to have all these illegal migrants come into the country with no paperwork, with no information, no documentation on finding out if the children that are with them are truly theirs. This is all your fault. But they're going to get mad. This was 4 years ago, that Trump separated children from their parents, 500 families, and they're having a hard time finding the parents. Like I said, what kind of a parent walks away from their child? Even if these children, if their actual parents walked away from them, what does that say about the state of mind of that type of person? Is that the kind of person we want in our country, that will leave their child as collateral damage and just keep moving it along? Think about that. Okay? Now, like I said, this video is going to be a little lengthy. I'm getting to my point. Because we heard what Al Sharpton had to say. We heard what the other people had to say. Everything is boo-hoo, whining and crying. We care about civil rights. We care about the illegal migrants. We care about the children. The separation of family is detrimental. It's catastrophic when you separate a child from their mother, from their father, from their parents. That's all you hear. From the Democrats, you can't do that. It's wrong. It'll give the child psychological damage. It gives psychological damage to the parents, to the children, to the families, all that. Let's get to the next video.
Religious leaders around the world are also condemning the policy of separating adults and children at the border. Most recently, the Pope. While speaking to Reuters, Pope Francis said that he supported statements by Catholic bishops in the U.S. who say the zero-tolerance policy is contrary to Catholic values and immoral. Reverend James Martin, editor-at-large of Jesuit magazine America, agrees, tweeting, "The deliberate and unnecessary separation of innocent children from their parents is pure evil. It does not come from God or any genuinely moral impulse. It is wantonly cruel and targets the most vulnerable."
Evangelical Covenant Church President Reverend Gary Walter feels the same, stating in a letter to President Trump, quote, "God gives children family for protection, direction, and provision. It is traumatic whenever that familial security is not in place for whatever reason. Separation should only take place in the most cautious, exceptional circumstances, not under a zero-tolerance policy." The Jewish Council for Public Affairs also released a statement saying, quote, "This policy is cruel and inhumane and only adds to the suffering of these families who are often fleeing violence and oppression in their home countries."
Okay, so you heard that. That was, again, 6 years ago. I really don't have to show a lot that's going on now because we're all seeing what's going on. Everybody on the left is up to their same tactics. What Donald Trump is doing by rounding up all these people now, sending them back, it's the same song and dance. These are clips from 6 years ago, 4 years ago, but it's the same song and dance now. But you hear what they're saying. You hear what the religious leaders are saying. It's evil. It's not from God. It's immoral to break up the family. Stay with me, people. There's a reason to all this. Okay? So you got Al Sharpton, you got people on the left. I mean, we already seen AOC is at it, the squad's at it, Biden was talking about it, Kamala Harris was talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. What Trump is going to do, he's going to do this, and it's evil, it's immoral, it's unethical, it's detrimental, it's catastrophic, it does damage to the children psychologically, the parents psychologically, the family as a whole psychologically, all that bullshit they're saying. right? But you know what's ironic, like I said? That, like I would say, that the left, they contradict themselves, they eat themselves. They do not care about Americans any more than they care about people from other countries. Okay? They talk so much about black civil rights, Latino rights, immigrant rights, everybody's rights. They talk about it. Oh, we got to do something. It's not right. You gotta vote for us. We got your back. We know what's good for you. Donald Trump's a racist. He's evil. He's Hitler. He's this. He's that. The people that vote for them, they're on the wrong side of history. I mean, even with the January 6th fiasco, they keep saying it was an insurrection, that those are homegrown terrorists, losing their minds because Donald Trump went and pardoned the vast majority of them. And like he said, he's going to keep some of them in. When they look at all the details, the ones that committed the harsher crimes, they're not going to get a pardon. The ones that basically they were rounded up because all they basically got was their faces, no proof. And I'll say it again, the judge, okay, unless something has changed, but last I heard, the judge or judges that have been watching over this whole case said it themselves that none of them are being charged with insurrection. So all you leftists on the mainstream media and on social media, you need to stop lying to the people, because even the judge said they are not being charged with insurrection. They are being charged with other crimes, supposed other crimes. And like I said, unless something changed, but I haven't heard it, but that's besides the point on all that. Okay? Now we're going to get to the point of my video, of all this that I'm showing you. And that, like I said, I know what you're probably thinking. Why are you showing us the old stuff? Because the new stuff now is reminiscent of the old stuff. It's the same thing. We all know it. We see it since day one. Even before Trump became president, they were saying the same thing. When Trump becomes president, he's going to separate families. He's going to send illegals back. Yada, yada, yada. The same song and dance. Let's get to the video clip so like that I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Here we go. About what all this means. But before I do, if you like the content, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. Let's get to the next video. Here we go. Okay, this video clip was put out, okay, by Black Conservative 24. If you don't know him, go on his channel, show him some love, okay? This is when Donald Trump was signing the executive orders on day one, I believe it was, and when he let out the January 6th protesters. Something came up that I didn't even know about, because it was kept very, very hush-hush, as you're going to see.
So President Donald Trump this past Thursday issued pardon for almost 24 people who were convicted of federal crimes for protesting and blocking entrance to abortion clinic. You can see the list of names on the screen.
A set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this.
One of the...
Okay, that's part one. I'm gonna play it. So these were people that were arrested under Biden's regime for protesting peacefully in front of abortion clinics like Planned Parenthood. So much that the Democrats talk about family. So much that Al Sharpton talks about helping illegal migrants. So much that the Pope and all that come out and say that it's evil to do that. Reverend Al Sharpton, supposed to be a religious man, and yet said nothing about Biden arresting people protesting to stop the killing of babies. The Pope, okay, and other religious officials said nothing about that. In this time right now, not 4 years ago, not 6 years ago, right now. And the reason why I bring this up, because out of all the people that got arrested, this one story right here, this one right here, it's what caught my attention and pissed me off. Here we go.
Protester Beverly Williams sent this message to Donald Trump. God bless her and her family.
Look at mama. Look at mama. Look at us. I got your jacket. Here. Go. You miss your mommy. You miss your
President Trump, I just want to thank you for being a man of your word and bringing me home to my family. 3 months without my 2-year-old has been, words can't express what it's been for me. And just watching you sign my pardon and get me free, I'm just so grateful, and you're just a hero, and you literally saved my life. And if Kamala had won, not only do I know I would have gotten out in like 2028, but I was nervous that she would probably try to re-indict me on something else. These people are vicious, and I know this is just the beginning. This isn't the end. This is just a start, but justice has to come. But thank you for getting the ball rolling on righteousness and justice in this nation. And so just thank you from me, my daughter Eleanor, and my husband.
I thank you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you. We thank you.
God bless you.
Look, you put a black family back together, so they can never say you. They can never say you are racist.
Never.
Well, how do you like that? They talk so much about the illegals being separated, and yet this black woman, there's so many strikes against the Democrats right now. I challenge anybody to come on my damn channel and leave a fucking message about this. Any of you leftists. A woman that's protesting in front of Planned Parenthood for people to stop having abortions, that was no good for the Biden administration. Lock her up. That's number one. Number two, a black woman. Number three, you separated her from her child and her husband. Number four, they're out there all alone. Where's AOC? Where's Kamala? Where's Biden? Where's Al Sharpton? Where's the Pope? Where are all the groups? Where's the ACLU? Where's Black Lives Matter? Where are all you freaking liberals out there protesting for illegal immigrants to come here, and you're upset because their families are being separated? Where are you to stand up for this woman who is out there? And like you people say that what Trump is doing is not God's work. What this woman was doing was out there trying to stop people from killing innocent babies. God's work. Where are you people? Out there, she's out there all alone with her husband and the baby. Where's all the media? Where's everybody at? Where are all the civil rights groups? The Latino groups included. Where the hell are you? Because you sure as shit will get white and black people to go and keep Latino families together that came here illegally from other countries. But where are the black activists, the white activists, the Latino activists protesting for this woman, what they did to her? And you left this like, it doesn't even matter. I don't even have to say names. But you left this out there talking about that what Donald Trump is doing, it's evil and he's racist. But once again, that racist man went and brought a black family together, freed somebody from prison, that was put in prison for peacefully protesting against babies being aborted. And yet, during the Democrat convention, if anybody remembers, because I did a video on that, they let Planned Parenthood bring a damn bus in front of the convention in Chicago that within 4 days they did, I believe it was at the time, 26 abortions. And that was okay for the Democrats. All you Latinos out there, all you black people out there that would say, you know, Democrats are great, the Republicans are evil, they set up shop to kill more of yous in front of the Democrat convention in Chicago. While this woman was out there, okay, protesting so no babies could be destroyed. And that's all you got. You got The View added also. Anna Navarre, Whoopi Goldberg, Sonny Hostin, Joy Reid, Joy this, Joy that, all the usual suspects. Roland Martin, all of them. All the usual, Harry Sisson, all the usual suspects. Where are all of yous protesting? Where were you protesting that Kamala Harris and Biden would drop the charges against this woman who had a little baby girl, a little boy, I don't know what it was, but it doesn't matter. You locked her up for peacefully protesting in front of an abortion clinic. And you talk about God? You talk about you're on the right side of history, you're doing God's work? So you'll destroy them in the womb. You'll destroy the family after the fact. Trump is trying to get rid of all these illegals that have come here. He's trying to find the kids. He's trying to get rid of the criminals so they don't kill any more Americans and any more of their own in the neighborhoods and the communities where they're hiding out at. And he's the evil one. Unless I'm seeing this all wrong, people. Leave it in the comments. Am I seeing this all wrong? Because last I checked, the Democrat Party said they were the party of the people. What people? Who exactly is it that you are trying to represent? Because you're definitely not representing the black family, the black mother, the babies. You're not representing them. You in no way, shape, or form are doing God's work if you can turn a blind eye. And that goes for the Pope, that goes for everybody. I do not care. Anybody that knows my content, there is no damn hair on my tongue. I will say it the way I see it. You all talk about that you're out there doing God's work. And look at the chaos, the separation, the division, the blood that has been shed. Look at what you people have done. And you're upset because Trump wants to send people back to their countries. And still giving them the option that if they come back and do it legally, then they'll take them into consideration and find out if they're on the up and up. But that's not good enough. So I'm asking all you lefties out there, everyone, anyone that watches my content out there, ask yourselves, what's worse? Trump separating families because he wants to find out if the children that came over with certain adults from the Mexico side of the border, if he separated them to find out if they are truly related? Is that bad? Or the fact that Biden and his damn regime separated, this is just one instance, one incident, separated a woman for a black woman from her child and her husband because she was peacefully protesting for women not to get abortions. And I know that many of you are not going to give a flying rat's ass. Because I said it once, I'll say it again. And I don't care. I try to put out content there to spread awareness, bring people together, try to help people understand. But the truth of the matter is, I have to admit, and I'll keep saying it, there are some evil, wicked people amongst us. Some will agree, some might be 50-50, some will be just downright against it because they do not care about life, they don't care about other people's lives, they just have an agenda because they are hell-bent on just projecting hate. They just want hate, that's it. They want it destroyed, they want it knocked down. They want this country and the nuclear family and everything that's good under the sun, under God's hand. They just want it destroyed. All you people out there, all you activists, like I said, I don't care. From the Pope down, all you activists that are for any of that, you're all a bunch of hypocrites. That's all you are, just a bunch of damn hypocrites. Okay? I said it before, I'll say it again. You are on a side of history, but you are not on the right side of history. Remember that. Remember that. I thank God that Donald Trump gave this woman a pardon and all the other people, the other 25, I think it was 24, 25 people that were forced, that were just arrested, and I wish that they can find in some way, shape, or form where they can sue. Okay, Biden and Harris and whoever was involved for doing this. But something tells me it won't be that easy. But I thank God, the Lord Jesus Christ in heaven above, I thank the Lord that Donald Trump signed a pardon for these people, especially for this woman. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for Donald Trump. And once again, pray for all the missing children. Peace.